What is up, guys? Max here, the Celeb Talk guy, and we have some interesting 90 Day Fiancé stuff to talk about today. Let's start off with what happened on the last night's episode of 90 Day Fiancé Self-Quarantine Special. We saw a few different couples, starting off with Laura. Remember Laura and Aladdin? They were just that weird couple we all kind of knew. Something didn't add up. Laura is much older than Aladdin, but one thing led to another, and she actually ended up marrying the guy. Well, if you fast forward a little bit, of course, he ended up filing for divorce. And now Laura made her way to Ecuador, and she has been causing and stirring up so much drama on social media because she was kind of hanging around Corey and Evelyn, and they were kind of buddy-buddy. Then next thing you know, they were into a huge fight. And long story short, on last night's episode, we kind of got to catch up with what's going on in her life now in Ecuador. It sounded like she actually wanted to leave and go back to Canada because remember, she is actually from Canada. She's not even from the US, which is so weird that she was on this show. She's from Canada. She made her way to Florida. I don't know if it was on like a travel visa or a retirement visa. I have no idea. She was living in Florida and then boom, she met Aladdin. So now she's in Ecuador. She is single. However, she is kind of in somewhat of an online relationship with another young man. Clearly, we now know that Laura has a very distinct type because check out her new guy right there. His name is Tony, and thanks to 187 Anonymous Gossip on Instagram, she tracked down his channel. There he is. He looks almost like a spitting image of Aladdin. It is pretty unbelievable. And so you might be wondering, how is her relationship going with this even younger guy? Because this Tony guy is only 25 years old, and he is allegedly in dental college. Well, from what I saw of it, it was an absolute, complete, total joke. I mean, I've never seen anything funnier in my entire life, and I consider Laura extremely gullible because she fell for whatever was going on with Aladdin in that whole situation, because clearly not everything added up right with their relationship, and she still fell for it, and she still married him. Well, now we move over to this Tony guy who is much younger than Aladdin, and they were FaceTiming on last night's episode. They were talking. He was saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and it was so funny because even Laura, who I consider gullible, wasn't saying I love you back. She was basically just saying thank you, yeah, okay, whatever. She seemed interested. She even kind of teared up at one point and said, Tony, you're like my rock, I can depend on you, even though they have yet to even meet. But it sounds like at some point, one way or another, they are going to actually meet. We shall see what happens. I don't buy anything that's going on with this relationship. I don't know if Tony just wanted to go on the show or if I don't know, but I do not think this is real because Laura is so much older than Tony, and Laura, I'm sorry guys, but we all know that Laura's broke, so it's like he can't be using her for the money. He's already in the US. What is going on? Maybe he's just into older women. Who knows? So Laura, we didn't get to see Aladdin last night, but Laura is allegedly online dating this new Tony character. But she even admitted it seems a little bit too good to be true. Now, moving on to the other couples we got to see last night, we have to talk about Avery and Omar. They were on a season or two ago, and you know what, guys? I actually like this couple. I thought for sure this was not going to work when I first saw them. It just, same thing, it didn't add up. It was so weird. Why is just a Midwestern girl like Avery from Ohio, she just changed religion, she changed her whole culture, she did a 180 with her whole life, she met this guy online. It just didn't seem like it was going to work. However, I think they're going to be a really good couple. We can agree to disagree. Please, more than likely, please put in the comments, I beg of you, put in the comments below on what you think of Avery and Omar. I thought they weren't going to work, but as we see them kind of unravel, they're like a really good couple because I think Omar is actually a gentleman, and I think he just wanted to meet a woman that has his same cultural and religious beliefs. And Avery seems to kind of be that woman. She is definitely a little bit louder than him. And when I say a little bit, I mean significantly louder than him. But one thing I've noticed lately with relationships is opposites do sometimes attract. So they could very likely work. I think Avery might need to kind of work on her whole cultural situation with how, if you're outside, you can't hug, you can't hold hands, whatever they have going on with their culture stuff that she probably isn't very accustomed to. And that, of course, is going to happen when they can even live together, because they still aren't even living in the same country. Omar has been trying to come to the States. Obviously, with the coronavirus and everything else going on, it has been extremely difficult. He has not been able to. And so from the situation that I can kind of see, it just kind of sounds like more than likely Avery and Omar will just go to a separate country and live together there. And they were kind of tossing around the idea of Dubai, and I would suggest it. I have cousins that used to live there. It was perfectly fine country, and I think they would probably do really well. Maybe at that point, Omar and Avery could visit the US occasionally. I don't really know. However, this couple threw me for a loop because I never once thought they were going to work, and now it kind of seems like that they're a match made. Avery even met Omar's mom and his other, relatives, and they all live for her. So I think it's actually probably going to work really well. Okay, then Anna and Marcel were also on the special, and they're right there with Avery and Omar. They might even be even crazier for me, because I would have put hard, cold cash down on this couple and bet that they weren't going to work, and I would be completely wrong. Now, I hate to say it, because I didn't want this couple to work. I thought Marcel was like the worst person on this show last season when they were on it. And we all remember, Marcel was here, he was there, he was going to leave. He supposedly did leave. I don't buy that, by the way. But all this stuff happened. He wasn't nice. He was always kind of seemed like he was rude. But the more I see this couple now that they're married, the more I kind of like them. I know I shouldn't be saying that because they were god-awful as a couple, but the more they unravel, I kind of like them more and more. I think they are so strange, but I really do think that Marcel is becoming more comfortable with Anna. He's becoming much more comfortable, it seems like, with her 3 kids. They seem to kind of like him more, and they kind of seem to be like one big happy family. Now, of course, we're just seeing bits and pieces on TV, so who really knows what exactly is going on? But last night, Marcel and the kids were playing together. Anna was cutting the kids' hair, and it was cute and funny and ridiculous, and so I wish them nothing but the best. And I kind of think that they're actually going to work out. And that basically leaves us to Dean. And yes, Brett and Daya were also on last night. Dean, real quick, met a woman in the Philippines. He went and actually met her. He met her online. He flew over, met her. And because everything that's going on, he is stuck there. Brett and Daya, they are still trucking and running along. They're doing well, it seems like, I guess. Brett sadly did lose his job, and that is basically it. For other really quick 90-Day Fiancé news, I want to keep you guys in touch on a little bit of Jeffrey stuff that is going on. Now, we all heard the news. We all saw my video I did, a couple weeks ago on how Jeffrey did get kicked off 90-Day Fiancé. Now, I need to clarify what I meant by kicked off. He, number one, got kicked off his clips on 90-Day Fiancé Pillow Talk. They do not show his clips at all on Pillow Talk anymore, and he also wasn't invited to the season finale tell-all. However, they do still show his clips on just the new episodes that are coming out, because there is literally like one episode left now. So I figured they're just gonna ride his clips out, show what happens with him, and then moving forward, they are never going to associate with him ever again. They are washing their hands of that. However, Jeffrey did come out a day or two ago on Instagram and made a video where it was like a trailer basically of him answering the questions that have been circulating him and him just sharing his truth. And I cannot wait for it. There are so many questions going on behind the scenes with Jeffrey and his backstory and his past dating life and his marriages and so much different stuff. And now we get to hear Jeffrey's side. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's a lie. I am just saying that in a couple of days, it might even be more like a couple of weeks. Now, Jeffrey didn't actually put a date on when he is going to release it. I think he did say that he's going to release it on YouTube, because it's going to be like 10, 20, 30 minutes long, and it's literally him just answering question after question after question. If you want to see the trailer, check out Jeffrey's Instagram account. He has a public account. You can go on it, check out the video, and it is, I was definitely sitting at the edge of my seat because I want to see his explanation and his side of the story. I am leaning more towards Jeffrey kind of being a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't want to say for sure, and I want to hear his side of the story. I definitely think he's a little bit on the narcissist side, but like I always say, some TLC and reality shows can do a fabulous job of clipping the clips so they look a certain way. So maybe, there's two sides to every story, and it sounds like in a week or two, we are going to hear Jeffrey's side. So just an update, I will make sure to share the video. I will probably do even a reaction video to when he releases that video, and I will keep you guys in touch as soon as I hear when that video is going to leak. In the meantime, make sure to do two things if you guys don't mind. Number one, please comment your thoughts on Laura and Tony. I know I might have been a little bit rude when I made my comments earlier, so I want to hear from you guys, and I also want to hear you guys' comments on Avery and Omar. In the meantime, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and stay tuned for many more videos.